But here's the thing. People like you that think that the personality of a machine is better than the personality of a human, so you'll go to that machine and you'll scan your stuff and you'll run a person out of business. That's what I hate about some of you college people, because I'm dealing with a 5th grade education and I deal with common sense, and I know.
To none other than the Art McCoy radio show, that is the College of Common Sense radio show.
Y'all get ready, suburbanites. People in the hood, get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Come on. You know what it is. If you miss 1 minute of this program, you miss a lot. You're right on it, Joey. We all know that Trump mania that we went through, but I want to get to the meat of the conversation, which is, Joey, what happened?
As Trump's nomination was going down, we burned an American flag in protest.
Who is we? Who is we, Joey? Who is we?
Myself and the Revolution Club.
So, Joey, again, when is the trial?
June 28th, right down at the Justice Center.
All right, Joey, do they have all of you all lumped into one, or these separate trials? Are they trying y'all all together?
The first trials that are going to be going on are for the felony defendants, and this is very serious. 2 young men are facing many years in prison for doing something that is supposed to be constitutionally protected speech, which is burning the American flag in protest. I should know because I'm the person that went to the Supreme Court many years ago whose case determined that it was protected speech. It's called Texas versus Johnson. I burned the American flag outside the Republican Convention in 1984 when Ronald Reagan was being nominated.
So you said so that
sentenced to a year in jail. I fought it. It went to the Supreme Court. I won because so much public outrage, and we showed the people of the world that this was not a crime. It's a righteous statement of internationalism, and now the system is trying to take that decision away. So the stakes are high. This is about political repression under the Trump and Pence regime, which really is a fascist regime. Trump says he wants flag burners to be put in jail for prison for a year or stripped of their citizenship. They want to attach one permissible meaning to the flag. If you have disgust with the symbol of the country or what the system is doing, the system behind the flag, and you express it through what's called symbolic speech by the act of burning the flag, then they want to incarcerate you for that. They want to imprison you. It's wrong.
People keep everything. Because when all this electricity and all this stuff that the European is dealing with break down, and the brother was talking about Trump, and I hope he's listening now, you know what Trump's name is? Hitler. And the Jewish people in Germany didn't know they had a Hitler like the black folks, and people of color in America don't know they got a Hitler, man. He's German DNA, man. I'm saying, when you wake up, don't wake up when the devil is knocking at your door. You better wake up when you're smelling confidence. So America moving toward the fascism, so all our books, all our literature, everything you got, that go all the way back for you when you start organizing. Protect that. Because our youth need to see that. See, they think that we are instant Facebook leaders. Don't take everything that you got right now.
Brother Kahar, brother.
Black on black, man, we go way back, man. We go backward. All the things we go all the way back there. See, all that needs to be documented. Because people think that this movement just started. People come in and think the movement just started. No, the movement has just started, so we have to be not only teachers, organizers, revolutionaries, but we got to be social scientists. Social scientists mean that we got to know the science of this revolution. And how you know the science of the revolution? Keep your archives together.
To have sex with me without her weave. And I thought to myself, I hesitated for a minute, and I thought to myself, I said to myself, I didn't say this to him, I thought to myself, I said, young man, I'm saying to myself now, I'm saying, young man, why are you asking an old school like me this question? Look, I'm lucky if I get some once every 6 months. So I'm saying this to myself. I won't telling him this. Don't y'all get it mistaken. I said this to myself. I said, now why is he asking me that question? But I boldly tried to ask him. So I questioned him a little bit more. I say, he said, yeah, I like to say, I'd be very happy and pleased to be able to have sex without her weave, but she won't do it. And then we got into the conversation of black women. I don't know about the other races, but black women and their weaves, and it really became a great conversation, and so knowing the professor. Now, the reason he brought it to me, because he know that this conversation, when you bring this conversation up, you're either going to get ran out of town. When I leave here, all the women going to be out there picketing and beat me with their weaves. But they know that the professor is bold enough to bring up this conversation. And so, therefore, as being a professor, class, I had to do a little research on this subject. And it's sad what I have to say, class, because actually from the professor's research, how can I say this? These weaves have really drove black women crazy. Come on now, don't y'all start picketing. I did the research. I understand. I know I'm going to have problems. But when I talk to you about the research, then you're going to understand what I mean. Because I listen. I'm gonna validate this a little bit like this. You know what I'm saying? A long time ago, when I was wearing the perms and things, Terry. I used to wear a slick perm. I had to wear the baddest perm. Terry. This is before your time. You wouldn't know. You'd probably be wearing one too if you was back in the day. But Terry, the hairstylist at the shop, they came out. He was one of the first people to do the weaves. Okay, so I had my bad perm, and he said, "All right, let me put you a little weave in the back." Just a little, just to make it extended. Right. And so Terry sewed it in, and later on they had what they call the clip-on, and I put it in. And man, along with my perm was sharp. Oh, don't laugh! If you saw the picture, you see why I had all these beautiful people around me. And so I had this. So it was my first experience with the weave in the back. It extended my hair a little bit longer. And I found out this. I said, wow, this is nice. This beautiful hair back there. I didn't have to perm it or nothing. And I actually got a little hooked on it. So therefore, I can truly relate to the fact that a long time ago, y'all laughing, you understand, because I'm a reality TV person. Listen, but anyway, radio person. Anyway, after the news, Kiki will be gone because she want to run out the program. You understand? Because of what I said, because she know the picket's going to come. But so Kiki, if there anything you want to say, I'll probably be the only one in the studio for this next half an hour. But anything you want to say, Kiki, was I politically wrong what I said? That when I go to on Forbes Road, I have shopped there for many years. They have a great black manager. He just retired or got forced out. He was a real good people person. He was loved by all customers and employees. For some time, I have been watching Sam Club test customers as far as self-checkout. Would they bite or would they resist? Soon the answer was clear. People would sacrifice people's jobs for faster checkout lines. I was always very conscious about people losing jobs. I knew what corporate America was up to. Either many of you were unaware or just didn't care, or would sacrifice the workforce for a little faster checkout. I had not been in Sam's Club for a while. I enjoyed the shopping experience until my wife and I got to the checkout line. I was shocked at what I saw. All the beautiful, wonderful people that work that checkout line were gone, replaced by Sam's self-checkout machine. These hard-working, loyal people were mostly all gone. Many had been working for years, taking care of their families, low salaries, but they worked tireless and hard for their paycheck, giving good customer service. My wife took everything in stride as she scanned our merchandise. To her, it was no big deal. It was not so easy for me. I felt empty. All those jobs lost. The thought almost brought me to tears. How many of you feel like my wife? Oh, it's no big deal. As I walked past the hot dog stand, I spoke to a lady busy fixing hot dogs and pizza, a long-time employee. She felt where I was coming from. We both wondered if the next time I came into Sam's Club, a robot would serve me my hot dog, having replaced her. Brothers and sisters, I don't have all the answers. After all, I only have a 5th grade education. But common sense tells me that if we boycott Sam's self-service machines, be patient and stand in line and wait for a person, a human, to serve us, no matter how long the line is, we will win and save jobs. Sam's Club will have to soon hire more humans, and we will win. As I walked out, I thought about my friend who had been a long-time general manager who had retired or got forced out. And I thought about him, and I know now why he went on and retired. Because he was such a beautiful person. He just couldn't stand the thought of all those beautiful people losing their jobs to Sam's checkout machine. Listen, we can do something about it. If we just take time to stand in those long checkout lines where people are servicing us instead of machines, we can save jobs. That's my comment. What's yours? We'll go back to the phone line, 216-578-1490, 216-578-1490. You remember earlier I told you about it. I had this beautiful weave in my hand. I was one of the first person to have Terry a long time ago before weaves even was popularized. Terry put one when I was wearing my perm in the back of my hair, and I loved it. And I see why women or people would get hooked on it. But I never thought the fact that this hair would run black people, black women crazy. I never thought that. So the professor had to examine are not the type of as smart and intelligent they are. So I just know that the hair itself was what was driving them crazy. So the professor had to examine this, had to go chemically and examine this. And I do believe that this hair, when it's processed overseas or wherever it is, and the chemicals and stuff they use to process it, I think that this chemicals is what's making our women so nuts about this hair. And so that's my explanation for the excuse for the women. But as far as the men are concerned, I have no excuse for them because many of them are supporting our ladies in buying this gorgeous hair. Now, if I might go on with the comment, listen, my daughter, Mary Seeks, Miss Skittles, a great entrepreneur, live in Atlanta now. When she was living in Cleveland, I knew a long time ago that this hair had drove her crazy. Because Miss Skittle got some of the most beautiful hair in the world. I don't know where she got it from. Must have got it from my granddad. But she loved her some weaves. And she would spend her last money on a nice weave. And I told her, I said, Miss Skittle, Mary, daughter, we got to detox you. And we laughed about it. But the fact of the matter is, listen, I'm going to repeat this to you one more time. What's getting me in trouble here? This young man told me to bring it on my radio show. He said, what I want you to do, I want you to, I'm going to put some weave around my microphone. See what it does. See what's this great feeling that's going on. So anyway, he said, Art, sitting in my chair, he said, listen, man, why is it that my girlfriend, I can't have sex with her without her weave on? He said, I would enjoy it just as good or better without her weave, but she won't even dare let do it. And I said to myself, why is he asking me, an old school like me, over the hill? But I told him I would examine the fact about why this weave have drove many of our black women almost to insanity about this hair. I already told you my explanation, what I think it is. I think it's something that's in this hair that does it. I think that our women are much smarter than that. But the fact of the matter is, we must address it. Because, listen, the hair care industry is an industry that is when it comes to the market and money, it is one of the top industries in the community. So how can this be with our economy being the way it is, with our children's education suffering so much, and the community? How can hair care be at the top of the marketing when it comes to Wall Street and all that? I'll tell you one thing. Those that's making this hair are laughing all the way to the bank, which is so important. Money matters. But if I could go further with this, listen, I know this is a touchy subject, but the fact of the matter is this. Let's look at our children, okay? Let's look at our children's education, all right? There's nothing wrong with buying a $200, $300, $400 wig, a weave, but not if your children ain't got the right books they need. Not if your children ain't got the right supplies that they need to prosper and do good in life. It is not good to have one of these beautiful weaves and your gas bill is due and your gas is going to be cut off, or your lights is going to be cut off, or your water is going to be cut off. It's not good to have one of these beautiful weaves and your landlord says you ain't paid your rent and you have to move tomorrow. Listen, there's some self-soul examination that has to be done here. What, right, Brother Porter? They're lining up outside already? They're picketing me already?
Well, if they are, one of them might be the one who just texted and said, we want to have your wife as a guest in the studio so she can tell us about Danny's.
let me tell you, and you're right, very good text. Because Danny's hair and beauty care is one of my great subscribers. And I often talk about Danny's going in there buying that great hair. And I have no problem with that. But just because they are a subscriber of mine and I love them, that doesn't mean that I'm going to stop being reality, okay?
Right.
Reality. Well, see, I'm not bought and sold by the man. All right, so it's always a reality check. Of course, I'm going to go into Danny's next week and buy me some hair dye. And so I'm not, so listen, this is a real world.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, I have a the young man brought it to my attention. So men, if the women don't want to call and talk about it, because I know it's a very sensitive topic, and they're going to boycott me. I'm not going to have no women listen no more. I already know that. I know y'all laughing, but it's true. And I got to be careful when I go outside, because there's going to be a long line of women talking about it. But the fact of the matter is, I really want some clarity on what it is about this hair that make black women go to such extremes to get it, keep it, and is so hooked on it. I understand the way it is, and I'm not knocking anybody, but we're going to go right to the phone line. Who's on the phone line? Talk to me. They say, well, would the people stand in these long lines, and they made them long so you would be forced to go to Sam's checkout machine, and we bid for it, and we went to the Sam's checkout machine and passed up the human. So pretty soon they said, well, we don't need the human no more. We'll have all machines. Yes, you want to say something?
Well, hold on. Last week you was the businessman. The business says that machines are cheaper than humans. You don't have to deal with attitudes. You don't have to deal with people calling off. You don't have to deal with 401ks. It was a business move.
No, but you're talking apples and oranges. We weren't talking about losing jobs. We were talking about a moral standard of business. If you remember, there's a difference in a moral standard of business and losing jobs.
Right.
Yeah, so don't get confused. I'll break it down to you later, young man, because you're trying to put
I don't think that's right.
Huh?
I don't think it's right. I think they just putting who they want to put in there.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. I understand that. So now that I got your attention and my millions of listeners, we can do something about this. But we must do something about this. Or not only at Sam's Club where they have Sam's checkout machines running the whole place, but all the other places where and the reason I'm really referring this to us, even though I want everybody to be employed, whatever nationality is, but a lot of us work those checkout machines, whether it's at Dave's or wherever, and we need those little jobs, even though they're not paying that much, but we need those jobs, and so we must stop being so impatient with humans and more patient with machines, or we're going to be in trouble as far as this economy is concerned, okay?
And I've been wishing you a happy birthday even on Facebook. I ain't getting no response.
Ma'am.
I've been knowing you for years. I've been knowing you as you come to your meetings and everything.
Ma'am, hey, listen, forgive me. They're saying ooh, but let me explain something to you, ma'am. The reason you didn't get a response, and I apologize for you. I'm on Facebook, but I'm not really that Facebook savvy. So if I miss something, forgive me. But I do love you, and I see you all the time. Okay?
I'm not either. I don't be on there that much. But I said it's Art's birthday. Let me wish him happy birthday.
Hey, thank you, baby. I appreciate you. Okay?
Okay then.
All right, no doubt about it. At the most, 2 scanners that will scan your food out, so you don't have to wait on a person. All right? Right now, you might have an opportunity to go to that scanner and check out real fast. All right? Because they know that if you stand in line, you're going to deal with a person. That person has a job. The person
Half the time they have an attitude.
have a family. Listen. Let me tell you something. I don't think that a person, and I disagree with that. Most of the people that I deal with in customer service, 98% of them are good people and have good attitude. You understand? So if you're talking about just 2%, then I can go along with that. But most of the people I deal with are not bad customer service person, okay? Because to stand up behind that register and deal with all kind of people and take their money and count money, and I think they have and with the salary they make, I think they have beautiful personality. All right, surely you might run into one. But here's the thing. People like you that think that the personality of a machine is better than the personality of a human. So you'll go to that machine and you'll scan your stuff and you'll run a person out of business. That's what I hate about some of you college people, because I'm dealing with a 5th grade education and I deal with common sense, and I know that if we boycott those scanners and go to those human beings that's working those cash registers, yeah, it's going to take a little bit more time. I guarantee you they'll keep their job. I guarantee you they'll be able to feed their family. And I guarantee you we'll be able to beat corporate America and keep some jobs. However, people like you that's always in a hurry and don't think about those people that need them jobs. You understand? Yeah, you understand? You understand? I know, yeah. When one of your family members can't eat because they lost their job at Dave's, lost their job at Sam's, then you'll understand. Listen, you know what? I'm getting too old. Profit for young mothers that have children that's working behind those counters. That's profit for them. Profit so they can eat. Profit so they can have something for their children. That's profit. You understand? Listen, I realize that I'm getting too old for this job because I still care about people and their jobs, and I don't care so much about them darn machines. So I know I'm getting old, all right, for this job. You understand? Because I'm going to always prefer going to a checkout line with people than going to a darn machine that bump. You understand? So I love you. So I understand. Who's on the phone line? Talk to me.